ABC News. I'm Madison.
I'm Ty.
I will be talking about the Vietnam War tonight.
And I will be talking about the North Korean War with you guys.
Later this evening, we will be talking to our reporter Caitlin on site in the USSR, and Sheldon will be giving you the lowdown on Germany. I'll start with the Vietnam War. After Ho Chi Minh, the communist leader of North Korea's army, attacked the U.S. Maddox in the Gulf of Tonkin, our president, Lyndon Johnson, gave permission for us to send troops into Gulf of Tonkin. I mean, Vietnam. Viet Cong communist members started demoralizing our troops. They launched an organized set of bombs on U.S. targets in South Vietnamese cities called the Tet Offense. The U.S. troops considered it a win, but the American public considered it a loss. A lot of Americans didn't support the war. Nixon, who became president after Johnson, came up with this policy called Vietnamization, which pulled out our troops while we handed over the war efforts to the South Vietnamese. Everyone ceased fire in January. We didn't win nor lose the war, and technically it wasn't a war at all, since we never declared war on Vietnam. Now over to Ty.
Alright, thank you, Madison, for that.
You're welcome.
As over in North and South Korea, General MacArthur is trying to aggress in the war of North Korea and South Korea. He wants to push them back. But President Truman was not okay with this, because as he was pushing them back closer, the North Koreans back closer to the Chinese border, China was not okay with that, and they got a little uncomfortable. So they advanced too, as well, and started to fight with the North Koreans and America. So President Truman fired General MacArthur and hired a new general named Matthew Bridgman. In North Korea, is a communism state, and South Korea is a democracy. So North Korea has one leader, and South Korea has, or the people in South Korea can speak for themselves. Also, dividing North and South Korea is what's called the 38th parallel, or the DMZ, demilitarized zone, is pretty much just a gateway that goes all the way through Korea, about 160 miles long and 2.5 miles wide. The reason it's demilitarized is because there's no weapons and there's not allowed to be any war or anything like that there. And the UN pretty much gave America to go push Chinese pretty much back out of Korea to keep the war and fighting down. So, yeah, that's about it.
Now over to Caitlin in the USSR. But first, let's have a commercial. Wait.
Sun drop. That's how you drop. It's not bad.
Yes, thank you, Madison. I'm here in Moscow in front of the Kremlin. Let's take a look back to 1928, when Stalin began his rise to power. 4 years after the death of Vladimir Lenin, the leader of the October Revolution, the second of two revolutions in Russia. Stalin and Lenin Trotsky wrestled for power over Russia after Lenin. Trotsky was forced into exile in 1928 or 29, and was later killed by Stalin's Red Army. By 1928, Stalin had total control over the Communist Party in Russia. While Stalin was in control of Russia, he killed thousands of people that became known as the Great Purge. He also sent over 20 million people to work camps called gulags, where nearly half of them died. After Stalin's death in 1943, Khrushchev came to power. 3 years after Stalin's death, Khrushchev publicly announced that Stalin's cult-like government was evil. Now today, December 27th, 1991, the USSR is separated into 15 countries. Now back to you, Spidell.
Thank you, Caitlin. Now over to Sheldon.
Alright. Berlin and most cities in Germany land routes. Now many Germans have to live in emergency camps. Also, Germany was divided up into 4 occupied zones. These 4 zones are occupied by the United States, Britain, France, and the Soviet Union. But the Marshall Plan is helping Germany rebuild the city. That's all back. Now back to over to Madison.
Thank you, Sheldon, for that interesting report on Germany. That's all we have time for today. Thank you, Caitlin, Sheldon, and Ty. Tune in tomorrow for the latest news. I'm Madison.
And I'm Ty.
Stay sassy, America.